So I'm going to give you guys some good information here, positive information. There was a lot of scary information, depressing, I think. When we look at the use of the agent, it's near all-time highs. So there's a lot of talk right now about technology and how that's going to change the role of the agent. Absolutely, your job is different than it was 10 years ago. Your job is different than it was 20 years ago. Vastly different. You're probably getting tons of texts right now, and you guys are all politely looking at me and not staring at your phone, which I would be doing. Yeah, because you guys work 24/7. But this is a really good thing, because we fear technology, and we absolutely know it's changing every industry. And we do have a little fear about millennials and how they want to do it themselves. We have to know, though, in the back of our heads, that if they're living in our basement or in our attic or so on, that they are not a DIY generation. They are a ask mom and dad generation. They are a generation where in Silicon Valley, there is a parental waiting room for interviewees. Yes, you can bring mom and dad to an interview. There's also a take mom and dad to work day. This is a different generation where mom and dad are besties. So in that, mom and dad also get to come on the phone to work, I'm sure, or texted. Do you like this house? Let's FaceTime mom and dad. That's a different generation. But we also know that they want your help during the process, and then a larger segment of buyers. And Gen Xers, we just talked about, they lost a lot during the recession. They do not want to leave any money on the table. They do not want to leave any stone unturned. And they are using you guys at higher rates than all other generations, millennials and Xers. That is a good, positive development here. And the other thing that we know is that for agent assisted sales, they're the highest we've recorded. FSBOs, for sale by owner, lowest we've ever recorded. And so I stand in front of a room and I say that, and everyone's like, well, you work for NAR, of course you would say that. Yeah, but let's look back in the 1980s. 21% of sales were FSBO. And it had been cyclical. We talked about it being cyclical. It's not cyclical anymore. That's not a cycle, that's just a downward trend. At the end of the day, sellers want to sell within a specific time frame. They have a new job, they have a new baby, they want to be in a school district, they want to change there. They want you to market their home correctly, they want you to find a qualified buyer, and they want that home priced competitively. So difficult when prices are changing at such a rapid pace to do all those things. And we ask data from FSBOs and we ask them these questions: what's the hardest part of the process? Those are really difficult for them. And so they want your help at the end of the day, being able to actually sell their home to a qualified buyer and to this. So I'm shifting gears, last few slides. We do a lot of surveys of members. We send you a lot of surveys. I know, please take them out of your junk mail, please fill them out, because I get really happy when we get that data back and I get to share it. We do tons of interesting things too. I think they're interesting. Change in marijuana. It's legal in some states now. How is that shifting industry and business? Commercial members, we see there's a demand for warehouses and storefronts. This is a budding issue, a growing development. Come on. Okay. We see that it's changing. Sustainability, we want data on that. Technology, all of these hot button issues, we send you guys surveys on so that we can go out and we can use this data to try and help. One of the things that we do is the member profile. One of you, at least, is very likely to receive this survey at the end of the month. So now you know what this is and how it's used. We try and track and we try and see how your business is changing. It's an extremely long survey, I know. Please don't send me a nastygram. I know, it's too long. But we want to know how many hours you guys are working, how many of you are full-time, which is the vast majority. And I know that 40 hours is laughable because you guys are working 80, 90 hours a week. You guys are always working if you're awake. But this is an interesting development here. The other thing that we know is that homeownership, it's your bread and butter. You sell it every day, but you also really believe in it as members. Homeownership rate in the US, 62, 63%, depending on the quarter. But for members, so much higher, especially as experience and age grows in the industry. And you really value it so much that 39% actually own a second property. And whether that's a rental property or whether it's a commercial property, vacation retreat, if you guys ever take a break, you guys have these and you really believe in them as well. One of my last slides here, really last content slide, is that I gave you a lot of fears for the market and a little demographic changes. But at the end of the day, we do a survey and we look at those who are not owners. And it's important to grab that data and see what they want in the future, and they want home ownership. They think it's part of their American dream. They believe in it. They just can't get there right now. And whether it's finances holding them back, time of life, but they really do want ownership in the future. The other thing that we know is that in Connecticut, for every home sale, it is a lot of money that's contributed to the overall economy. So when you're talking to your local communities and you're talking and you're thinking about what you're adding as value, a lot. Because you don't just buy the home, you buy everything that goes into it, and you hire the movers, you hire the painters, or you pay someone in pizza and beer. But at the end of the day, you are getting people and adding to the economy as well. And it's creating jobs, and it's creating stability for your local community. And the last thing, that was a lot of me and what I do personally. Wow, a lot. But it's a lot of data that I work on that I'm really passionate about. We have a lot of other researchers in the department. There's about a dozen of us. And we're putting out really cool things, local data, commercial data, international. So grab it, follow us on social media. If you don't want to read the reports, I get it. They're really long, sometimes they're really boring. I have to read them, that's how I pay my mortgage. But we do a lot of infographics too. We try and break down a really long report into data that you guys can use, data you can put onto your own social media feeds, and you can grab it from there. Instagram is great, our Facebook page, Twitter, we're posting there every day. Pinterest, we're storage for essentially all of the infographics that we put out, hundreds a year. That is all I have. My cat is happy to answer questions, so if you guys have any, I'm also happy to answer them. Yes.
Quick one. What ages are Gen Xers?
Right. Gen Xers are 38 to born to 1964, so the youngest.